Death from above moment Russia unleashes unstoppable nuclear-capable hypersonic missile destroying Ukrainian weapons warehouse. Video captures the dramatic moment a Russian hypersonic missile destroys an ammunition depot in the west of Ukraine. Moscow claims its deadly Kinzhal rockets cannot be stopped by Western missile defense systems. Video captures the dramatic moment a Russian hypersonic missile destroys an ammunition depot in the west of Ukraine. Moscow claims its deadly Kinzhal rockets cannot be stopped by Western missile defense systems. The video, reportedly filmed from a military drone, shows the moment a large Ukrainian ammunition depot in Ivano-Frankivsk was hit by a deadly Russian Kinzhal hypersonic missile. Russia's defense ministry said, the Kinzhal aviation missile system with hypersonic aeroballistic missiles destroyed a large underground warehouse containing missiles and aviation ammunition in the village of Delyatyn in the Ivano-Frankivsk region. Spokesman Igor Konashenkov said the unstoppable weapon was deployed on Friday. It is the first known time the new Kinzhal has been used in the conflict, but it was earlier tested in Syria in war conditions. Kinzhal missiles have an estimated range of 1,250 miles. President Putin earlier branded the missile an ideal weapon that flies at 10 times the speed of sound and cannot be brought down by conventional air defense systems. The Kinzhal is nuclear capable, but this was a conventional strike. It has a range of 1,250 miles and has no match in the West, according to Moscow. Konashenkov also claimed Russia had destroyed Ukrainian military radio and recon centers near the port city of Odessa using its Bastion coastal missile system, as reported by the Interfax news agency. Last month, President Vladimir Putin warned that Russia had stockpiled unparalleled hypersonic missiles. And earlier this week, Russia released chilling new footage of its 7,000 miles per hour Zircon hypersonic nuke missile that could hit London in 5 minutes. The Kremlin had previously branded the deadly weapon, which carries a conventional or nuclear warhead, unstoppable. Putin first announced the deadly Kinzhal missiles as part of a display of new Russian weaponry in 2018. At the time, Putin said of the West, they need to take account of a new reality and understand. This is not a bluff. Desperate Putin has recently been using more destructive weapons as the war wages on. Last month, Russia began dropping terrifying vacuum bombs that can explode enemy troops' lungs near Ukraine's second city of Kharkiv. It comes as 4 Russian cruise missiles yesterday slammed into a strategic airfield in the city of Lviv as Putin pushed his war west. The warheads, weighing a combined 1,600 kilograms and fired from more than 400 miles away, represented the first attack on the historic city. It had been considered a relatively safe haven for diplomats, aid workers, refugees, and journalists. Britain's Armed Forces Minister James Heappey said the strike showed Russia was now widening its bloody assault on Ukraine. Air raid sirens sounded across Lviv shortly after 6 a.m. as the Kh-555 cruise missiles zeroed in from Russian bombers over the Black Sea. 2 were shot down by air defense systems, but 4 smashed into 2 repair plants for aircraft and buses, less than 4 miles from the city center. A fierce blaze broke out and fire engines and ambulances raced to the scene. But a major loss of life was avoided because staff had left minutes before. Amazingly, just 1 person was injured. Fighting yesterday reached the center of the besieged southern city of Mariupol, where up to 350,000 civilians have been stranded with little food or water. Russia's defense ministry issued a chilling warning claiming its forces were tightening the noose around the port city. More than 130 people have been rescued following a Russian airstrike on a theater in the city where hundreds were sheltering in a makeshift bomb shelter. The city's mayor Vadim Boychenko told the BBC that street fighting was preventing rescue teams from reaching hundreds of civilians trapped in the basement of the theater. Speaking early on Saturday, Ukraine's President Volodymyr Zelensky said there was no new information regarding fatalities in the city, but said it was facing the greatest ordeal in its history, in the history of Ukraine. In a video address, he called for urgent, meaningful, fair peace talks. He warned Moscow that a drawn-out war would lead to so many Russian losses that it would take generations for the country to recover. Negotiations on peace, on security for us, for Ukraine meaningful, fair, and without delay, are the only chance for Russia to reduce the damage from its own mistakes, he said. Fighting continues this weekend in the southeast in Mariupol, in the southern cities of Mykolaiv and Kherson, and in the eastern town of Izium. The former head of Britain's armed forces has backed calls today for Putin to face a Nuremberg-type trial similar to that faced by the Nazis after World War II, following Russia's morally indefensible tactic of attacking Ukrainian civilians. Speaking on BBC Breakfast, Lord Richard Danitz said Russian troops had been briefed really poorly before going into Ukraine, and had been led to understand they would be welcomed as peacekeepers and liberators.